Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. This is Samir again. I'm back with one more Facebook Live video in the series of live videos that I'm doing talking about messenger bots. Again, I'm Samir Ranpara with Chatbot Marketing Center. Back today, we are going to talk more about Facebook Messenger bots. And if you are joining this live or if you're watching replay, please say hello in the comments, ask questions, and yeah, so today there are two things we'll talk about. So first, if you have been following messenger bots, then there was an important announcement that Facebook made yesterday, and that is in light of all the data breach, data exposure, privacy issues that you have heard of in news probably. Facebook is pausing or suspending. It's reviewing all the app connections, and it's pausing connections of new messenger bots. So you cannot publish your bot currently. I think it's already in effect now. It was announced yesterday. It was announced to go into effect immediately. I see someone is there. If you're joining this video, say hello in comments. Ask questions if you have any questions. I'm still kind of using this tool Ecamm, and I'm not kind of it's not very friendly in terms of interacting with people who are live, so I don't know how to think about that. Anyways, going back to Facebook announcement, unfortunately you cannot currently publish your new bots. You cannot connect your bot to Facebook business page. If you have been following these videos, I have told you earlier that Facebook bot ties with a business page. You need a business page and you need to connect your bot with the Facebook business page. That's how you publish your bot. That's on hold. It's not, Facebook is not terminating it so far. They have said that they're going to review all the existing connections, like existing bots, all existing applications. And hey Nathan, thanks for that comment. Yes, that's what I plan on doing. That I plan on keep making new videos. Keep making videos that are hopefully helpful. Slowly but gradually kind of teach all aspects of messenger bots. So that's why I'm gonna go slow. I'm gonna cover everything. If you have specific questions, please ask those here. So like I was mentioning earlier, unfortunately you can continue to, if you use tools like Chatfuel, and then I haven't talked a lot. There are two popular platforms of building bots. One is ManyChat, that's the one we have been using, and the other one is Chatfuel. Now they work a little bit differently. If you use ManyChat, then you start with connecting your bot with a Facebook page. In a way, you kind of pre-publish your bot and then you edit. So because Facebook is kind of, there is a pause or a suspension temporarily. It is expected to last few days. It could last few weeks. I mean, different people are reacting differently. It could be good and bad. But essentially these are growing pains for new technology. These bots are new, and it's inevitable. This kind of hiccups happen, and those are the tests for the technology, right? If it survives, if there's enough user interest, then it'll continue to thrive. But anyway, so I was saying, if you use a tool like ManyChat, then you kind of pre-publish, means you publish your bot first and then you hook up your bot with your Facebook page first, and then you start building, you start editing. And that you can't do that right now because you can't hook up with the Facebook page. And then perhaps we can, I can show you in action that what happens. So Nathan is asking, what tool do you use to build messenger bots? So Nathan, I use ManyChat, manychat.com. That's where you can start. Okay, I was just kind of trying to, if you need to edit the text in the book. Okay, so I'll add that into the comments later on, but I use manychat.com. Then there is another platform, or these are like the bot building platforms or tools. Another one is Chatfuel. There are many actually, but these are the two that I'm familiar with, and those are two of the well-known platforms. In Chatfuel, you can actually continue to build a bot without pre-publishing, without hooking up with the Facebook page. And so that's where you can continue to do the development. You can continue to build new bots, but you won't be able to publish if you use Chatfuel. If you already had an existing bot that was published, you are okay, because the pause or embargo or whatever you want to call that it's not supposed to affect the existing bots. Although people had noticed some hiccups, and you might notice some changes in your existing bots, but they are not expected as per the announcement. So that's the Facebook announcement. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait. At least it's expected to last a couple of weeks. We'll have to wait for some time before we can publish the bots. So that's that. If anyone is watching replay and wants more information, please ask questions in the comments, and I can answer that. I also want to now move on and kind of continue the training or education, and continue to kind of show you, train you and show you like how to build bots. And we will jump in with, I will start screen sharing and we'll jump into conversational flows and sequences. That's what we want to talk about. So let's jump in. I'm going to switch to the screen share version, and okay. So here is the test or the dummy sandbox bot that we have been working with. So far on the left hand side, we have talked about growth tools, how to drive people to the bot. We build landing page growth tool, we build ref URL. And again, if you are wondering what I'm talking about, you can always ask questions in the comments, and I will point you to the right video, because I have like previous Facebook Live videos where I have explained those growth tools, and you might not have caught up to that. The other thing we have done is here under automation, we have looked at the welcome message. That's the first message people see when they click the get started button, or when they use one of the growth tools, when they click on the growth tool button on your website, or if they click on the, so let me show you. Welcome message is if you go to landing page, then there is a preview here. Let's say this is your landing page. Right there, that blue button that you see on the bottom right, when people click that, they will be taken to the messenger. They'll see the get started button at the bottom, and when they click on the get started button, they will see the welcome message. That's what I'm talking about. It's right here the tool ManyChat gives you a templated predefined version in which you can edit, which we did. You can use this edit message on the top right corner and you can edit that. We have taught the bot few keywords. It comes pre-populated with understanding of start, stop, or subscribe, unsubscribe, because it's the Facebook's terms of service requirement. And we just taught like how to respond to hi word. And of course you can add more rules here. It's called rule. Like whenever you want to teach the bot how to respond to a word or a phrase, that's the rule, and you can define as many new rules as you want here. So those are the preliminary steps, right? It's still a very basic bot. It only understands words in terms of its functionality, which is not great, but that's where you start. Then we talked about flows. So flows are conversational flows. So welcome message is actually a conversational flow. So if I go back to welcome message, I mean, there are different ways of going back, but I'm trying to stick to the column on the left hand side. So if you go under automation, welcome message, then you see this preview of the welcome message, and then I just clicked on the edit button, and so here you only see one message, but you can build a conversational flow here. You can, after the first message, you can define more actions. You can add buttons. You can prompt user to type in something. That's this user input tool. And then kind of there can be subsequent steps here in the conversation. So we built a flow somewhere, so I'm trying to dig that up. Okay, so if I click on the flows on the left hand side, then I have created a folder, initial demo, which that's where I was showing you the first conversational flow. So this is our first conversational flow. You just to kind of become familiar with this is what we came up with. And so there's always a starting step, the starting message. Our starting message was hello first name. First name is the attribute public user attribute that we have access to. And that's what we used. Hello first name, how are you? And then we gave user three buttons to choose from, and depending on which button they click on, we define the next action, next message. That if user clicked on hi or I'm good, the next message that the bot was going to send is here. Would you like to learn more about messenger bots? And then this is if they clicked on how are you button, then we chose a different kind of message. We talked about the user delay, to mimic kind of the typing, a human typing. We have something called this. Okay, let me edit so that I can show you. Typing 3 seconds, so it shows those dancing dots for 3 seconds to mimic as if the user is typing, which is very helpful if you are sending back-to-back blocks of messages. So for example, the bot sends few lines, and then the bot wants to send few more lines, but you need to give user time to read through the previous lines, right, before sending the new lines, because if you keep sending big blocks, then the blocks will scroll up on your small mobile device, and then user might have to scroll back. So, and then they may not, right? So whenever you are designing your bot, designing conversations, keep those things in mind, that how you can help simplify the flow for the user, so that it's easier for the user to kind of read through the bot and then engage. So that's that. So this is the flow. Flow is nothing else but a conversational flow, and I wanted to talk about sequences. So sequences, right here under automation on the left hand side, you'll find sequences. What are sequences? By default, you'll see this, you'll see example sequence. So sequences are nothing else but a series of conversational flows, or series of flows, or series of messages. You know, a single message can be thought of as a flow with just one message, right? So sequences are nothing else but a series of conversational flows. So the bot is not going to talk just once and stop, right? The bot is going to, especially the marketing bot is an educational bot. So the bot is going to teach, and you don't want bot to teach a lot at once. But what you want to do is you want the bot to teach like a small nugget, small items one at a time, and then wait for some time and then teach again. Typically, you initially, when people subscribe, when people are newly subscribed to your messenger bot, you want to talk once a day and then stop and do some more teaching next day, and then stop and then wait for one more day. I mean, and not skip one more day necessarily, although it depends. But you want to kind of carry out a short conversation, like few messages back and forth at once, and then stop that day and then start again next day and repeat that process. So as you can see, it becomes a series of flows. What bot is doing is a series of flows. So that's how we are setting up the bot, and that's a sequence. So as you can see here, the sequence is made up of, it has a schedule on left hand side. It shows the schedule, when to send the message, and then it has a series of messages. Well, you know, you can activate or deactivate, and here are the stats. It will show you like how many times that message was sent, or the flow. So message is not really just one message, it's a flow. And I can show you if I click on this. So this is the introduction content plus unsubscribe instructions. You can build the flow here. There are just 2 messages here, but it can be a longer flow. So that is a sequence, and you can schedule each message using the schedule functionality. Now it says you have to click on that. When you click on that, this message will be sent at least, you have these options: immediately, and then you can have delay in terms of minutes, hours, and days. So immediately after what? Immediately after the user subscribes to that sequence, which is different than subscribing to the bot. When the user clicks on that get started button that I was talking about earlier, the user subscribes to the bot, or even when user clicks a button, or when user sends a message to the bot, they are subscribed to the bot. So that bot can, bot can send a message to a user only if the user is subscribed to that bot. So bot cannot go out and start sending messages to people who have not subscribed, right? That's the reason we need growth tools. We need a mechanism to incentivize people to start talking with the bot, because that's when the bot can continue the conversation. Often people feel that, you know, the bot means bot can go out and start spamming people, talking with people. No, the bot cannot do that. You can only send message to subscribers, basically, and then the user has to initiate the subscription. Bot cannot initiate the subscription. If you give user a good enough reason, the user will initiate the subscription. So now there is bot subscription and there is sequence subscription. So to understand sequence subscription, let me go to the growth tool. Let's go to this landing page free guide. If you remember, we built the landing page. We are offering them a free free guide to messenger bots for your business. This is our landing page. We ask them to click on this button. They land on the messenger. If they are there for the first time, they see the get started button. They click on the get started button on the messenger. They are now subscribed, And what do they get first? The first thing they get is this opt-in message right here. This is the message we came up with. So in order to kind of look at the whole flow, I have to click edit. So here is the whole flow, and this is the welcome message, right? Like I was saying, people are here looking for that free guide. So your conversation, initial conversation, has to center around delivering that free guide. Hopefully that makes sense. So it says, welcome, first name, this is Samir's bot. Thanks for stopping by. If anytime you want to stop receiving messages, just type stop or unsubscribe, right? That's a good practice to tell them upfront how they can unsubscribe. Can I use this chat to deliver the free guide you requested and keep in touch, right? Like this conversation has to center around the free guide because that's what eventually the user is looking for. So if they say yes, we deliver the guide. If they say no, we say no problem. Is there anything I can help you with? Now mind well, we can continue to build this conversation, right? No problem. Is there anything I can help you with? And then we can give them options here that they might say, they might respond, user might respond that yes, there's something I need help with, and then we can build a flow around that. Or we can just stop here. We can stop the initial conversation right here because they were looking for the guide, we delivered the guide, and we are done. Now I recommend you don't stop there because if they were looking for the guide and they have progressed till this step, if they are here, then they are interested in the subject matter, right? They're interested in subject matter. And so the recommendation is that you do deliver the guide first, but then you try to continue the conversation a little more to kind of learn more about them. What we want to do is we want to learn more about them. So probably ask them more questions. So this is, for this specific example, we are using a guide that's a bot guide for business, right? So probably the person who is engaging here is a business owner, perhaps looking into messenger bots or bots, right? So the recommendation is that you should continue the conversation. Now you can continue it here, but there is a better way to do that. So remember, this is the opt-in message. You can definitely build this flow and kind of continue the conversation that I'm suggesting and ask more questions. What I'm initially suggesting is you basically ask them a couple of more questions because you already given them something, right? So they are in a state where they are likely to be receptive to your questions, and given that, that's your opportunity to learn more about them. You know, and in business, it's all about learning more about your prospects, you know, because if you better learn their needs and wants, then you can better serve them. So you should always be looking for opportunities where you can learn more about your prospects. So right here is the opportunity. So don't stop, continue the conversation. But I'm suggesting don't continue the conversation right here within the opt-in message. But use sequences. So let's go back to the landing page. I'm going to go to the opt-in actions tab. So here is the opt-in message. We already defined that. And you can see below the opt-in message, we have an option, add subscriber to sequence. Okay, so right there, that's where you can subscribe people to sequence, which will be a series of messages. So here you deliver the freebie, and then you can come up with a series of conversational flows that extends over multiple days, and you can subscribe to them here so that you can start the process of asking questions, learning more about them, and educating them. So hopefully it makes sense. I kind of What I'm trying to do is talk a little bit, build the context, and then we will jump in and start building out that sequence now. So hopefully it makes sense. I'm going to reiterate. This is Samir. I am talking about messenger bots here. This is, if you're joining replay, then say hello in the comment. Ask me questions. If you have any specific questions, let me know. What I'm trying to do is do this daily series of Facebook Live videos and teach everything that is out there to be learned about messenger bots. So initially we'll be focusing on kind of basic components of the messenger bot, and that's what we have been doing. And we'll gradually build on that, and we'll kind of go learn more advanced stuff later on. So when you click on this add subscriber to sequence, it'll list all the existing sequences. The example sequence is a default sequence that comes available in ManyChat. You can use that, but it's very generic, so it may not be useful in all situations, all scenarios. So I recommend we kind of you look at it and you modify it. So that's something we'll start in the next video, because we are almost at the half-an-hour mark here. And so tomorrow we'll jump in and build a sequence. So you can think about it, right? Like in this case, I delivered the freebie. Now I want to learn more about them. So that's where I'm going to start. Like I was saying earlier, in this specific case, I want to find out whether they are a business owner and looking for messenger bots because, they want to grow their business. They want more leads, they want more sales and things like that. What is it that they are looking for? So that's what we will do in the next videos. So I'm going to stop here. If you watched parts of this, thank you if you did that. If you're more interested, I keep inviting you that, say hello, share this video with someone might be interested. I would greatly appreciate that. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Bye.